Aloha. Today we're going to go and start with some basics again in regards to what we call Papani. So you notice the word Papani has that word pani. And pani kind of means to take the place of, to close, to substitute. As we say in Hawaiian, a pani haka haka is to substitute for something else. So what a Papani actually does, it substitutes for names. Yeah. So when I say Kaleikoa, instead of saying Kaleikoa all the time, I can say myself. Yeah, ao. So what a Papani does, again, is to take the place of a name, something that has a name. So when we use the word ao or vowel, commonly pronounced, this represents the English I, or what's called the subject. Yeah, in English you would say, I am a man. In Hawaiian, he kane wau or he kane au. So he kane o Kaleikoa. He kane wau. Yeah, again, wau taking the place of Kaleikoa. So when it's a singular I in a so-called subject position, these are the words that we use. Yeah, au, which means I. Kaua, and you notice the word kaua starts off with that ka sound. And you can think of that word ka meaning including. And what it includes is the person you are speaking to. Yeah, the you. So when I say we in English, we, including you, meaning we too, in Hawaiian we say kaua. Now you notice the suffix also, the word ua, can also kind of think of it as representing the number 2. So ka, which means you and I, we, and ua, which means there's 2 of us. Now this verse is ka, you and I, but perhaps there's 2 or 3 or 4 of you that I'm speaking to. So we say in Hawaiian, ka ko, which is you and I, plus others, which include us, we, in the subject position. So in Hawaiian, as you see, the word we has multiple meanings. Whereas in English, when I say we, we're not really sure at all exactly which we are talking about. So we becomes the plural of both 2, 3, 4, and 5. In Hawaiian, we make a distinction between 2 of us, we, and 3 or more of us, we. Hence the words kaua and kako. Now we also have we, as we see here, coming from here, maua and mako. So ma is exclusive, as we say, meaning it excludes the you. It doesn't include you. So when I say we, meaning we, not you. So in Hawaiian, when I'm talking about we, there's 2 of us, not you, we say maua. And when I say we, not you, and there are 3 or more of us, yes, again, there's sounds in ma and ua. We say ma and ko, or mako, which means 3 or more. So what you notice, the English we has actually 1, 2, 3, 4 we's in Hawaiian. So in Hawaiian, we're a lot more specific. When we say we, it tells you very on if I'm including you or if I'm excluding you. By the sounds ka versus the sounds ma. And so again, it always depends upon whether or not you include the person you are addressing. Kaua, kako, maua, mako. So when we use the word I in Hawaiian, ao, and I use the word we in Hawaiian, okay, we notice we have 4 of them. So these 4 right here are all related to what you call the first person in English, meaning it all includes myself, I. Yeah, it always includes I. I'm included in this. I by myself, ao. I with you, including you, kaua. I with you, including 2 or 3 of you, sorry, mistake there already, becomes kako, right? Yeah, so I is 1, ka is 2, kako is 3 more, including you. When I use mawa, again, that is I, including somebody else, we, but not you. Yeah, so again, there's no you. And mako excludes you. So you think about when you say aloha. So when I say aloha and I'm going to include everybody, that's why in Hawaiian we say words like aloha kako, love to all of us, that you are included, aloha kako, and so forth. Yeah? So we always think of these words, ao, kaua, kako, mau, and mako as being about what's called the first person. The person who is doing the addressing, the person that's speaking. And you can again remind ourselves, you notice the word ua represents 2. And that sound ko represents 3. Okay, let's look at the U now. Now the U is pretty simple in the fact that it's always talking about, in English, what you call the second person. The person you are addressing, who you are speaking to. And if you're talking about that person, you, right, we know oi. Oi, of course, describes just one. But again, look at those sounds that we see again. This ua sound and this ko sound gives you a hint. When I speak to you two, not just you one, but you two. Specifically in Hawaiian, we say olua. If I'm talking about you, and there are 3 or more of you, again, you notice that same sound. Oh, sorry, I need to respell this. Which is the word oko. All of you. You guys. Yeah, oko. So, the second person is pretty straightforward. Yeah, we say oi, olua, and oko to represent you. You one, you two, and you all. Yeah, all of you more than 3 or more. Okay. And likewise, when we look at what in English calls the third person, yeah, so whenever you're talking about somebody else, yeah, not I, not you, but we're talking about a third person, somebody else we're referencing. And the first word you notice is the word ia. Now, ia means basically it, or he or she that generally has a name, ia. However, generally, if you notice, many times you hear the word oia being used to express the idea of he or she. And you notice this o is the same o you would have in front of names. So when I say o Kaleikoa, and I'm talking about, maybe I should change this to Kaleikoa, maybe let's change o Keola. I'm talking about Keola. He or she, yeah, and you notice a name like Keola, both male and female, o Keola. He or she. So instead of saying Keola all the time, or Keola over and over, we replace Keola with the word ia. Ia represents the idea of that person or this person which we are talking about, he or she. Now we notice also our language is not gendered. So the word oya means both he and she. Now to look at it o again, the main point is to, when you see the word oya, what it tells you, I'm talking about a he or she that has a name, oya. Yeah, so if I said, pehea o Keola, oh, maikai oya. Yeah, how is Keola? Maikai oya. He or she is good, they're fine. Yeah, specific. Now, we should also pay attention to some language in English. When I say, how is he? How is she? Pehea oya. Sometimes in English, they would use the word and they might say, oh, they are fine. And this word they is used in English when they're not distinguishing between a he or she. In other words, they, although they is a plural, many times as a plural, it's used to distinguish that, to not distinguish someone's gender. Yeah. Let me take an example of that. So just to kind of pay attention, when you pay attention to English, sometimes, what I'm trying to say, sometimes when they use the word they, it's actually in a singular form. And they use they to express the idea of not knowing whether the person is, or not making the point of it being a gendered word. Yeah. So in Hawaiian, and that's why in English, sometimes you see people today, when they identify their gender, you notice genders, people identify, instead of they don't want to identify as being a he or she sometimes, and then they use the word they, meaning you're not distinguishing between gender. Anyway, that's just an English language. In Hawaiian, we solve all of that by just using the word oia. Yeah. So, when we think about other ways to think about this, I'm going to put up a chart. 1, 2, 3 plus. I, we, you, and they. So you notice in English, I, we, you, and they are the only ones that in Hawaiian, what you find, we have really a lot more. So if I were to create a box here, and I want to distinguish. So I as myself. And I would say, oh. Now, obviously, you notice I by myself is just one person. So you don't have a 2 or you don't have a 3. But the English we, it's a little more complex. What you find in the English we actually have 3 or more. So we don't have, right, for one person, that's nothing there. But we realize we got to make a distinguishment between what we call including the person you're addressing, the you, and excluding, meaning there is no you. You are not included when they say we. And we will know, again, putting the sounds together, the inclusive sound ka with the sound ua, kaua. We too, including you. We too, including you, kaua. We 3 or more, including you, kako. Now look at exclusive. We too, not counting you. We, Kimo and I, not you. Maua. Kimo, I, and Frank, not you. 3 of us, excluding you. Mako. So again, just to remind ourselves, in the English, you have one word for we. One we. In Hawaiian, we have 4 we's. And we distinguish between the number of we's, again 2, and we also distinguish between those who are 3 or more. We also distinguish between whether something is included, meaning you, or the you being excluded. Okay. Now, the you, again, we know when it's just one, that's oi. You alone. 2 of you, olua. All of you, 3 or more of you, I'm speaking to a group person of you, oko. They, so we started a they, we didn't complete it. And the they, if I'm talking about he or she specifically, when there's just one of you, yeah, that is the word ia, or oia, if it's in a named position. When there are 2 of you, and this is what we continue off, we use the word la. La, which kind of represents somebody else you're talking about. When there's 2 of them, laua. And when there's 3 or more of them, lako. Now, I just want you guys to pay attention to some of the, let me go change color here. Some of the things you notice. Yeah? So you notice, anytime we're talking about 2 here, oh, sorry. Anytime we're talking about, oh, let me try to change color again. Let me try this. Oh, very sorry. Go back here to change color to maybe blue. Anytime I'm talking about the number 2, you should all pay attention and realize all the words end with the sound ua. So if you get confused between, you know, the numbers in the pronouns, remember it all ends with ua, just like elua. And anytime you're talking about 3 or more as a number, 3 or more as a number, you notice the same word, ko, is used in the suffix also. Yeah. So anytime I'm talking about 3 or more, I know it's going to end with the word ko. Anytime I'm talking about 2, always ends with the word ua. Well, likewise, you notice that all the inclusive sounds all start with the word ka, meaning I'm including you. You and I, kaua. You, your friend, and I, kako. You, I, and my friend Kimo, kako. And then in the same way, anytime I'm talking about excluding you, not you, you notice the sound all starts with ma. Yeah? We, not you, ma. We included you, ka. Okay? Another thing to notice, you notice the word, any kind of you, all start with o. So all the yous, 1 you, oi, 2 you, o lua, 3 or more of you, o ko, start with the sound o. And likewise, anytime we talk about they, it all starts with the sound la. La ua, la ko. So, again, to remember, if you get confused about which pronoun, the first thing to remember is what is the function of a pronoun, a papani, and that is to replace. Yeah, papani is to replace names, that which has names. Yeah. Other things about the pronouns is that they're also used in all parts of the sentence. Yeah, whether what we call a piko, a subject, po, the predicate, any kind of ave, they can be used anywhere. However, what is consistent about papani is that they will be marked in particular ways and changes. The one you really got to always pay attention to, in fact, is this one here, the ao, in regards to its marking. Okay, so let's take a look at that. Now, just like in English, pronouns will change. Yeah, so if you think about it in English we go from the word I to me. Yeah, so in English you don't say me happy or me am happy, but I am happy. You realize whenever it's in a subject form, we say I in English, and me when it's an object. So in English, they kind of use these words form depending on how it's used. Yeah, I versus me. In Hawaiian, we kind of do the same thing. Instead of saying I, we say ao. But whenever we use the word me, we actually say au. And that's the thing to remember. And it correlates pretty much the same as in English. Ao, when it's a subject position or a piko, and me, when it's any kind of object position. And that's why in Hawaiian, if I was to say things like to me, I would say ia'u. Me, ia'u. If I'm saying with me, I will actually say mea'u, with me. And again, the point is to remember, it's not iau or meau, but always that sound a'u. Okay. Now, some basics about Papani, when they're marked commonly, and most of you know, we use the word ya to mark Papani, just like you would use the word ya to mark a name, right? So if I would say ya keola, perhaps the meaning of tu keola, in the same way, if I was going to say, and keola was a him, to him, maybe. Remember, what takes the place of keola? But the word ia. So this is how we come up with the idea to say yaya. Yaya, again, is this ia is replacing that person we're talking about, keola. Him replaces keola. Maybe keola is a female, and I would say to her. Same thing. Yaya. That ia replaces then keola, and then her replaces keola. So what you see, whenever it's used in particular ways, it will be marked with different marks. Now, what if I want to say with keola? When Hawaiian with keola, I would say me keola. With keola. Well, how then would I say with him? Same thing. Meia. With her. Meia. Again, the ia is replacing the name keola. And those are some things to kind of remember when we do markings with our Papani. Now this works really for all the Papani in the same way. This is how we can tell in English, right? In English, they will actually change the words in English. Yeah, so in English, we'll say something like, we take a word like we in English. We is a subject form. Yeah, we are happy. We are going to school. But in the object form, English would actually change the word in the object form. In English, they go from we to us. Yeah. So in English, for example, we don't say us are happy, but we are happy. Give the book to we, but they say give the book to us. In Hawaiian, the good thing about Hawaiian, maybe I'm talking about you and I, kaua, two of us. Two of us. We. Maika I kaua. We two are good. Maika I kaua. But when I express the idea of give the book to us, in Hawaiian it's real simple. We don't have to actually change to a new word like English, right? Like English, they have to go two different words. In Hawaiian, we just add that marker, ya. Ya kaua. So when I say ya kaua, it changes again the meaning from we to us. And this works for all the rest of the Papani. Ya kako, ya maua, ya mako, ya lawa, ya lako, all work in the same way. So one thing about Hawaiian, to remember, Hawaiian is very systematic. Very systematic, that when we put a word like ya in front of it, it makes it into the object form of the word, like in English. I can use other words like me, yeah, with us, me mako, me kaua, me oko, and what have you. Okay? So remember, the main idea is that whenever you use a Papani in the ave position specifically, or in a position when it's an object, we always mark it with words like ya or me and others. Yeah, it's always marked. Okay? See you in the next one.